Are we going? Okay. All right. In real time, live. Let me get this. I hope I can. It's hard for me to do this. Had to plug the thing in so that we have enough power and battery. I want to make sure you can see everything. Okay, so hopefully I'm in frame. Yeah, I kind of suck at this. All right, so what's going to happen first, and this is something that, I mean, gosh, even if you had a sheetrock repair, this will show you how to do it. This right here, let me explain this first of all. This is all glued on, even though it's PVC plastic, they've used PVC cement. I don't want to have to mess with taking all this off. So quite literally, this is the board that was on the cabinet, sheetrock behind it. I'm going to leave that open, and I'm going to slide my cabinet, my sink box in place, but I'm going to cut the sheetrock out around it and around this plug. And I'm going to replace all of this sheetrock right here with waterproof, mold-proof sheetrock. Now this can also help you if you had a repair you needed to make to say, I know my kids have done it, hell I've even done it, I've accidentally put a hole in sheetrock before. You can patch it, or if you needed to replace a section for water damage, say the pan under your air conditioner is leaked, we had that issue here. There was no pan, so it caused some water damage in the sheetrock. So rather than having mushy, falling apart sheetrock, you just take it out, put some new in. It's really not a hard thing to do. I'm going to show you how. And we're going to treat with those chemicals before we close it up. So should anything come up from outside, it's going to have all those chemicals in there that don't vent into the house. It's not going to affect the people living in the home, but it will affect any bugs or critters that try to come in from the outside. Not dealing with that. So the first thing I need to know is, what is this hooked into, James, just as a precaution?
Microwave.
It's in the microwave. That's right. Because the microwave's in the garage because we had to move everything out. So
You can unplug it.
I can unplug this. Great,
Yep.
Good. Because we don't need any power right now. What I need is a level, because I want to be able to just run this sheetrock and have a nice clean line so it lines up. So a level and a marker, and I'm going to mark my line across the whole top of this. Now, like I said, I'm going to go around this. Normally, if I just had regular pipes coming out of this, I would cut the holes and go through. But to do that, I have to turn up the water and take my cutoffs off to have just a small hole. I'll foam up around this. It will be closed up. Since this isn't a house I would be like selling or something, this will work in a pinch. And for me, and for the time that we have to work, this is good enough right now. Good enough is going to do for some of this stuff. Now, if I'm working on a home for a client, I don't take short steps. I don't do good enough. I do the very best I can. And if I can't do it, I bring in, someone that can. But on this, my son's agreed this will work. Let's just get this house ready to go. And he's more than ready for a kitchen. And I mean, I could undo all this later down the road and just patch this one section. It's all doable later down the road if needed or wanted. All right, so we have a straight line that's going to go across. Why again? Because your sheetrock's straight, and you don't want to have to be sawing at it trying to get it to match up. This just makes life a lot easier if you start with a straight line on your patch. And you want to find studs. You got to have something to drill the sheetrock into. And of course, this is too tall, so I need a shorter level. I've got one. Hold on. Shorter level is probably in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I've got somebody bringing that to me. So, I know that I want to go from here. Of course, I'm going to try and find a stud somewhere around here. Now, your game boxes, that's what the plugs are in. That's what they're called, game boxes. They're always against a stud, okay? Because you got to nail them to something. So, let's just start with right here and see what I've got behind it. And that'll just give me a starting point. If I need to move, I can. But I want to start somewhere and find what I've got. So straight lines are, your friend when you are doing any kind of sheetrock work. Straight lines help. And then I do not want to have to jack with this too much. So I'm just going to try and find a good starting point on this. And I'm going to mark it. And then I'll know where the stud is at. So right here. This is what I'm leaving. This section right here. Provided I have studs to put the rest of this into. Hey babe.
Yes.
Will you check the camera and make sure since I'm on the floor now that it can actually see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Otherwise they're just looking at the top of my head, right?
Yep.
Yeah?
There we go.
Yeah, let's look at this. Alright, so you can see what I'm doing now. Straight lines around the pipes. Again, because I don't want to shut the water off and take all of this off, and we just need to move on with this. And it's solid behind here, okay? And it's going to be fine. Alright, so I've got this and this. I know my lines are right here, so I'm going to be careful going around this. But I like to use, yes, you can use a utility knife and score it. I like a multi-tool. It just, to me, it makes my life so much easier getting through this stuff. I need to get some safety glasses because the last thing I need is some of this flying back in my eyeballs. Hold on. Let me get safety glasses. And alright, safety glasses. I found pink ones. Oh my god, yes, I found pink safety glasses. And gloves. If you haven't figured out, I love pink. I'm so girly sometimes it hurts. Alright, gloves, because safety first, and let's keep the nails pretty if we can. This kind of work takes its toll on my poor nails. Alright, so when I do this, I'm not going all the way through the sheetrock because I don't know quite what's behind here right now. So I'm making a very shallow score on this, okay? So, and also, if you're not proficient with this, you might wobble around. So, you might want to use a guide and a utility knife, like a straight line, if you're not used to using this. But I'm pretty good with it, so. Alright, so that's cutting that side, and then I'm cutting the other side. And then I'm going to run it straight up on this side. Now this is going to make a lot of mess, but cleanup is contractor bag, throw the old sheetrock in, broom and vacuum, and you're done. Or not. Damn. Come on now. Act right. This one, there it goes, like that. This one I may have to patch over. I really didn't want to because we got a stud right there. So I can go ahead and pull that some. And that's what we're going to do. Alright, let's go ahead and pull this wood off. Like I said, I'm willing. You gotta be flexible. You gotta do what you gotta do. Let's go ahead and get it tight for crochet. blade. This is good enough for sheetrock, but getting this wood.
Where are your blades?
Up on the scaffolding in the folding box. Sorry guys, I'll be right back. Gotta get a new blade. Right there. No. Yeah, no one, maybe. Blade, 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 blade. Spells. Hold on. Sorry, being about right back.
Right here.
Yeah. Alright, great. Here we go. Alright, sorry about that. Had to locate my blades here. Alright, I'm going to put a new blade on this thing. Bleh. Butterfingers. So that I'm getting through this wood better. That's not the kind I want. I want like a really nasty tooth. This one. Yeah. I'm going to pop this battery out because I have a habit of accidentally hitting the button while I'm doing this. And then it's like, yeah, wants to saw me in half. Alright, so I'm going to get this in place so it doesn't shift on me. Voltage are pretty easy to change out though. There we go, that's a new blade. Should get through this wood a heck of a lot easier. I just don't want to hit this pipe. Nah, that's making let me see how I want to come at this. See if I can get it off. Stop. I don't want to put pressure on these pipes. Alright, it's coming. Sorry, this is taking longer than I Now I gotta try to get that up there without hitting anything. Haha, got it off. Alright. So I just have, oh yeah, it's probably best we went ahead and did this anyways, because yeah, alright. Oh good, that's just like fuzz and insulation, not a bug. Alright, so just getting this part off here and then we're clear. Come around. Are you kidding me? Alright. Seriously? Good Lord, have mercy. Now maybe it'll take off. Here we go. Alright, now I should be able to jimmy it around. Come on! Come on. There it is. Got it. Yay! Sometimes you just, there it's dusty. This stuff, yuck. It smells old. It wreaks havoc on my sinuses. I'm gonna get a hanky because my nose is just running like crazy. I just had it, babe. My handkerchief. Oh, there it is. It's on the ledge. Alright, so now that I've got that cleared up out of the way. Ugh, that's gross. And that's probably for the best. So let's just go ahead and get it gone. Now, I can see my studs right here. And then, of course, that sheetrock. I'm probably going to have to replace it, yeah. It's just, you know what? It is what it is. I'll go and get it done. Oh, this sucks. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Whoop! Down you go. Alright, so that's coming out, and then I'm gonna, shoot, I really didn't want to take this out. But we're gonna go ahead. We're just gonna take it all down and deal with it best I can around this big pot. Because, well, it's pretty nasty stuff anyways. At least we gotta look at what's behind the wall. I need to score that so it comes out the way it's supposed to. A nice clean line. Alright, let's take it out. And of course, on this house, all the sheetrock was nailed in a lot of times though, in newer homes. I'm like, what? Ow, dang it, nail, ow. Newer homes, where what I'm doing to replace it, it will have screws. So just be mindful of that, because then when you're pulling it, you'll need to unscrew things. But here I've got nails, so I'll just pull those out and get them out of my way before I put a new sheet up. You gotta clear out all the old for the new. I'm just trying to get all this off without, messing anything up. I didn't have to do all of this. But I want to put waterproof behind it just in case, or they're mold resistant behind it just in case. Since all my water appliances, all my water work are all happening in one area, it just made sense for me to go ahead and do. Plus I had to make sure I'm handy. So that's out. Look at that. I'm going to have my trusty muscle helper wash the nails that are sticking out of that bucket. Alright, so I've got a cooler. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to get the nails out of my 2x4s. Can't put up the sheetrock, the new sheetrock, until all your screws or nails are out of the way. Don't forget your base your shoe plate. That's the bottom 2x4. Those will have nails in them also, or screws usually. So you're going to get all this out of the way so that you put up new. And that takes a few minutes. It's just part of the project. When you're redoing homes and you start opening up walls, be prepared to find some crazy, crazy stuff, okay? You just don't know what codes were going on when your home was built, especially if you're buying older ones and fixing them up so that you can afford a house nowadays. Builders did some crazy things back before there were a lot of codes. Not only that, it hits older homes, so no telling what kind of, things have been done over the years, and homeowners can do some crazy stuff too themselves. So just be prepared for it, and be prepared for damage or things that you weren't expecting necessarily to have to replace. You might have to replace. You might have to fix. If you run into stuff, like I said, YouTube is a wealth of knowledge. Just like everything you could ever want to know is on there now. Plus, you've got AI. If you need, additional help searching out the answers, it can help guide you along the way and help you find the answers you need also. Use every tool you have available to you in order to learn the skills, do the new things, whatever, so that you can get into a house in a way that is actually affordable. I just don't know that there's any other way to go about doing it anymore that isn't going to involve, some hands-on work in order to keep it, affordable. Now, as long as it's in a livable state, you shouldn't have too much of a problem getting a loan on it. As long as it can pass a standard inspection for insurance reasons, be able to insure the home, you may be living in it while it's in several different states of repair, but it's doable. If you are tearing out your kitchen and you are living in the home, I highly suggest you figure out a temporary kitchen situation somewhere in the house or even in the garage. If you can still plug your stove in, I believe the same wattage is used for a dryer, an electric dryer, and a stove. So worst case scenario, you might not have a clothing dryer, but you can have a working stove if you can't have the stove in the kitchen at the time. So consider things like that as an alternative to having to have a kitchen that's completely disassembled. Remember, your bathtub and a couple totes can instantly become a kitchen sink kind of thing to wash dishes, whatnot. Do what you got to do to be able to live in your home while you work on your project. Here's the other thing. I know a lot. I'm not teaching this so that you can go buy a house and work on it yourself and then turn around and sell it for, 3 times what you paid for it. That's not what this is. I am not going to teach people how to do this so they can perpetuate the problem we're already having, which is a lot of investors going in, paying cheap, paying contractors. They don't even do the damn work themselves. And then jacking up the cost of the homes to make a profit on them. That's not what this is about. But that being said, it is also a way, as a homeowner, especially starting out, that you can start with a very modest home like this and do the work, fix it up, live in it for a few years. I suggest about 5 years. I think a lot of states, some states are you have to live in the home for 2 years before you can sell it and not like be just raked over the coals with capital gains taxes. So at least 2 years, plan on living in the house and then doing the work yourself. But what I find a lot of times with this is, especially if you're buying your first home and you're buying it as something you want to live in, that you're trying to get into an affordable situation and to be a first-time homeowner, there are a lot of programs for that too. The idea of, you know, doing all this work only to turn around, sell it, and start over is kind of, I know personally, I've been working on the home I live in for about 10 years now, you know, just little things at a time, trying, you know, to get it where I want it, you know, when I bought it, what I had in mind, what I dream of it being someday. By the time that I get that done, not only am I going to be tired, but I'm going to have my dream home that I guarantee you would have cost me 4 or 5 times more than what I originally paid on the house and what I will put into it by the time it's done on repairs and reno and stuff like that. I could have not bought this home. By the time it's done, there's no way I could have afforded it ready like it's going to be. So by the time I get it done, I'm not leaving that house. Are you kidding? I put all this time, work, and it's the house I've always dreamed of having. I'm not doing that so I can turn around and make, you know, some money on it just to start over. Because, let me change this view. Even if I could change, or even if I could make, you know, a lot of money off the house, that doesn't necessarily mean with the market the way it is that I'm going to be able to buy something of equal size and quality, even with making a profit of what I will have when I'm done doing the work. So, I'm not teaching you how to flip. I don't care. That's not what this is about. If you want to do that, I wish you all your success. I can't honestly say that the market is going to continue to support that sort of thing. I don't believe it will. I think that time of buying something dirt cheap, bringing in contractors, or even doing the work and turning around and selling it for a huge profit, I think those days are dwindling. They're going away because people just can't afford to buy houses that are that expensive anymore. So it's what kind of helped create the problem we're in already. So if that's why you're watching, that's what you want to do, I wish you all luck, but I think it's a bad investment at this point in our economy and what's happening. I think the best thing you can do is to find the shittiest house you can in the best neighborhood you can afford. Look at your taxes, look at your school system, look at your codes and permitting for wherever you are in the country. Thinking about doing this, that's very important first. Try to find average utility bills. Do the math first. Find out what the cost to carry this house is going to be. That means what your utilities, taxes, insurance, plus your mortgage. Okay? Those all need to factor into what it's going to cost you monthly to maintain and keep your home. And then on top of that, you're going to be investing in supplies and materials. Again, I'm going to show you how to do that a lot cheaper, more economically. But you need to factor all that in when you're going in to buy a house. And then negotiate. And if you're one of these people that owns an older home that has not done work, be reasonable, all right? Be reasonable, and remember, when you bought that home as a young person and raised your family in it, what a wonderful feeling it is. You can be greedy and try to profit, or you can maybe be the type of person that gives a young family the same break you had. Now, I'm not asking you to take a loss. I'm not asking you to sell it for what you paid for it. No. But I guarantee anything over what you paid for it, which is very, very, very little, on these houses. They're usually seniors that are needing to scale down or going to like a retirement type of facility, something like that. And the families are the ones taking it over. So let's just be clear on that. Selling that home to a family that will make it something that they raise their families in, that they will love it, they will cherish it, and you're giving a young couple, especially nowadays, a chance at the same dream you had the opportunity to have. You can be greedy or you can do the right thing. But it's up to you, man. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell people what to do, how to spend their money, or how to live your lives. That's just not my place. What I am going to tell you to do is if you can find yourself someone that is selling their home, needs to get out of a house, needs a lot of work, I'm going to show you how to fix it up. So the next thing is let's put some sheetrock back up. This is all we have left. Is it?
Yeah,
Is this
no,
it?
more.
Well, obviously I don't need some more. Alright, so we know the washer is going on this side of the dishwasher. This green stuff is the mold resistant water type that you want to find yourself. A sheet of, right now in our area, 8 by 4 foot sheets of sheetrock are under $10. The mold proof and fireproof cost about $1, $2 more a sheet. Sheetrock's cheap, okay? It is not one of those really, really expenses you're going to come into. Now, you can measure it, or you can do like I do it lazy man way. And because of floors, because of walls, because nothing's ever level in an older home, let's give it a mark. And I know I'm going to raise it up a bit, so we're coming right there on it. And then I'll just go ahead and do some real quick measurements, dirty measurements. And then I'll mark it on the sheet. And we'll score it out and get it up. Down it goes. Oh, look at that plume of dust. Alright, let's just make sure that we're pretty much the same place all the way across. And I'm going to come up off this baseboard. It's not going to sit on the floor. So, I should probably have glasses. But that looks like I'm 38 dead on. And this one is 38 and, it looks like a fourth. So I'm going to take my shortest measurement when I go to this, because it's 38 and a half. You see? Even though I went level, nothing's ever level. This is 38 and 38 and I need glasses, damn. 38 and a fourth, yeah. So 38 looks like my best bet. And then I'll have wiggle room on the shoe plate here. So I don't want to go flush with this drawer, yeah. Looks like I could get away with 38 would be short, so we really should go like 38 and a quarter, I think. 38 and a quarter is going to be about my best bet. So you measure, come up, and decide what you're going to do. I said 38 and a quarter, and where I'm marked, it's going to be damn close, I'm sure. Yeah, it's like 38 and a quarter, yeah. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to mark it. I know you can't see me right now. I could probably have Mr. James here move the camera for us.
1 second.
Alright. He's bringing in sheetrock. Alright, yeah, I'm going to move him down. Alright. So 38 and a quarter. I just mark across. Just say mark 38 and a quarter with my measure. All the way across. That way I can just line up. Now, I don't know if my eyeballs are tinted or tilted or what, but I highly suspect my T-square is no longer square. It seems like everything is at an angle with this damn one. So I think maybe it got dropped and it's out of square, but see what I mean? Look at that. That should be square. That's not square. That's up there, and this is a good ½ inch almost out.
Extra long level.
So I just need, but because I measured, I've got that yellow.
Yeah.
Where's my
You got
yellow?
long level here too.
Or my long level, whatever. Doesn't matter. I just need a straight edge. I'm measuring my measurement all the way across, so I'm just gonna line it up. And then I already know if you're marking, sometimes when people will put a tick, like a check mark on the side that you want to cut on or whatever, that's a carpentry trick in construction that I learned on the job with a contractor. So I just know that getting this down, because that says it's level. Yeah, it's all right there. All right, so anyways, a straight edge to mark. Now you can keep that straight edge and use a utility knife and pop it. Have you ever seen sheetrock popped? When I say pop your sheetrock, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Popping sheetrock. I need a utility knife. I had one. Ah, here it is. And this one's not sharp. Probably need a new blade. Sheetrock eats through blades like you would not believe. That's dull as hell.
Here's mine.
Is yours new?
Yeah. It's
Barely new? Newer? Okay, yeah. Nice sharp blade. And keep your fingers out of the way. Give yourself, oh, see this. All right, I'm gonna use this, but I know that it's out of whack, but I also know how to hold it so it doesn't stay that way for me. Because I need a good sharp square edge straight edge to pull against. Like this. And that way it gives you something to pull this knife. Ooh, don't let me scratch this, cut this floor up. Brand new damn floor. Yeah, I don't want to do that. It's right in the middle. And it is one piece. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about when I say pop sheetrock. So when you square it like that, you can pick it up. I like my nails, I want to keep them. You can take it this way. Ready? It's got it scored on the one side. Ha, it's popped on that edge, see? And now you're backing. Like if you have a small car, you can also take that long piece, measure it, and bookend it is what we call, where you score it and then fold it and then score the other one and fold it like you're almost folding croissants. But you're doing it with sheetrock. Hey, yay. Yes, I know. When I'm in construction and doing stuff, somehow baking and cooking translate back and forth for me. I don't know, especially with sheetrock and wall work and stuff like that. You'll see why. All right, and there we go. So now you have your sheetrock, and that's your attachment strip. Now, I want my clean edge that's not cut at my top. It just makes for an easier time when you go to taping mud things. And then this is where it gets fun, because I didn't get it under this lip. And I did it, but I got a plug in the way. Look at that right there. So this is easy enough. I'm just going to cut that out. I'm going to mark it and cut it, so that it's not in the way. I'm just giving it rough, but I am going to measure it just a tiny bit so that I can get the sheetrock in behind it, because it needs to like have a place to go behind that box. I'll take a picture. Alright, because I know it's, normally they're like 2.5, or, 4 inches. But I know that I need, oh, this needs to go, what were we at? So, Yeah, it needs to come over that much. It needs to come over, so I'm just measuring to the box. My gang box, so I'm just gonna bring it to 1.5 from the edge, and that'll give me plenty of room to come around that box.
Your jab saw?
Do I want what?
Your jab saw?
You're asking if I want the jab. No, I'm gonna use the multi-tool.
Okay.
Heck no. I don't want to solve this. It gets ragged edges on it. It's such a small. It's just a small. It's a small section, so. And if I need to shave out more, the multi-tool makes it easy to get it pretty tight in place. Alright, in we go. Wrap. Hold on. Yeah, I need to come down. See, that's what I mean. Multi-tool makes it just slightly easier. To go in front. Hold on. There we go. There we go. See how pretty. It's beautiful. It works. That's what I need right there. Now, what I also need is to mark the studs where they're at. There's a stud. There's a stud, there's a stud, there's a stud, and of course there's a stud over there and the stud's at the bottom. Why did I do that? Because I want to know where to put the screws. That's why I got to put the screws in it. And so, it's just this. I'm just going to mark where to put my screws on my sheetrock so that I don't have a bunch of out there stuff going on. And then another strip down there. Before I do that, real quick, I'm going to show you on this. You're going to pop that in, not a big deal. I'm sticking this dust in here. It's like that dust, it stays in the wall, leaves a residue. I'm just putting it down between the sheets, between the studs.
Do you need to trim that stuff at the bottom?
Do what?
You need to trim the gaps, the gap stuff at the bottom?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just sticking this on. Yeah, I'm giving it a good dusting behind the wall. And then I'm actually going to throw some kind of just on the sheetrock itself, not a big deal. Gel bait, they like that stuff. And just in case anything ever does pop up in here, phew, it's in here for later. Kind of where they would crawl. And they would try to be a nuisance. So now, that's always there. Doesn't really go bad, it's going to stay. And this is back in place. Here, go in. Alright. And I'm going to screw it in. And then obviously you don't want to spend, I don't know, an hour or whatever watching me screw in sheetrock. So we're going to take a break from live. And I'm going to finish this part up. And then when we come back, we're going to be putting in, the sink. Alright, we're going to be putting in the dishwasher, the stove. We're going to start putting our appliances where they go, bringing in base cabinets, getting everything set up so we can put countertops on today. Yay! We'll see you back in a little while. It's going to take me probably about half an hour or so to get this all closed up, and then we'll be back.